Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Joe McClary, and I am the Executive Director for the National Business Education Association, and I am thrilled to be here to share with you a little bit about our new website. We're going to share our screen here, and as you see, it has our new website up, and we're going to be going over some of the basic features of the new website. We're going to be looking at some of the areas that our members have to take advantage of and some of those new benefits. So before we begin, let's go ahead and take a look at just the public side of the website. If you look here, you'll notice if you're not logged in, if you're not logged into the website, you're going to notice here that it'll ask you to sign in. The neat thing here with the new website is you'll be able to log in with your Facebook password. You'll be able to authenticate through LinkedIn or provide your own username, which is usually your email address on file with NBEA, and sign in. If you don't know your password, and there's a good chance that you may not, given the system's new, you can just go ahead and enter forgot your password. If you enter forgot your password, you need to enter your username or email address on file with NBEA. A few things to note about this. Keep in mind that if you are an individual member, you want to make sure that you connect with your individual account. For example, there are some institutional members, like those that belong to the National Business Honor Society. You're the contact for your chapter, or for an ABTR, the Association of Business for Business Teaching and Research. ABTR institutions also have contacts. Please keep in mind that when you log into the website, you're either logging in as your institution, which in and of itself doesn't have any many website benefits. The individual account has the benefits associated with your account. So keep that in mind. So enter your username or email address, and we will immediately send you a email to reset your password. Now, sometimes people don't get those. So it's important to know that we send those immediately, probably within a minute or so. And so they're automatically sent. And if you don't get those, you need to check your spam filter and make sure that you're receiving your emails from nbea.org. We highly recommend that you whitelist through your institution or your organization or your personal firewall or spam filter nbea.org. So once here, let's just take a quick look at our public site here. If you come to About, you're going to see a list of our board members, our past presidents, our NBEA staff, our regional associations. That would be the four major regional associations that we have. If you want to click on those, you're going to see links to those and which states comprise the NBEA regions. Also, we have our affiliate associations here. And these are the state business education associations, largely throughout the United States and other territories and provinces. If you are a contact for these different business education associations and you know that the links are not correct or it needs to be updated, drop a line to nbea@nbea.org and just tell us what to update, and we will be able to update that information for you. So this is how you can get in touch with your state business education associations. Also, too, we have some information here on advocacy. We have different facets of advocacy, facts every legislator should know, facts every business should know, every parent should know about business education, and so on. We're happy to have those there for your use to help advocate for business education. Also here we have a compilation of over 100 business education related policy statements. That is essentially a policy, what we call the PCBEE, that is the Policies Commission for Business and Economic Education. And if you go there, you're going to see a list of over 100 policy statements that they created over quite a few years. So keep that in mind for our advocacy site. And there again, that is all under About. If you're interested in advertising with NBEA, you're welcome to do so. You can come here and find out about the Business Education Forum and some of the details there about how to advertise with us if you're interested in that. So when we come back to our home page, obviously there are multiple ways around the site to get to the same, to different places, or different ways to get to the same place. For example, here in the middle of the page, we try to always put the hottest news right here, smack dab in the middle, so you can just land on the site and see what the hottest news is. The first thing is always latest news. You can always get to that by clicking on news, and you're going to see the latest news. Now, keep in mind, we do echo news on our social media sites. So you have Facebook and Twitter, and while those are all great, and you can find those too by clicking up here in the top section of our website, you get all of our social media channels. We've just recently added a YouTube channel where we're posting short micro-learning videos on how to do certain things on our website, on the front end, the back end, and that should be useful to you if you want to keep checking there. We also recently posted our last award ceremony. So if you'd like to see the speeches or the acceptance comments from any of our leaders or award recipients, go to our YouTube channel and check that out. Also, too, we're also anything, and let me emphasize this again, any news that is germane to the association will be published on this website. So you never have to wonder, well, it came in the newsletter, but it's not on the website. It will always be on the website. Anytime we go ahead and publish in Constant Contact a newsletter, that's our keying in newsletter, we will also post a link to that newsletter right here in our news area. Sometimes we'll make special announcements, and we will be able to post information about certain events that are very, very important. For example, on April 7th, our board met, and here are some of the decisions that they decided on that will affect you and your membership. And you can go in there and take a look at that news. And again, you're not going to have to wonder if the news is on Facebook or Twitter or just in the newsletter. The newsletter will be primarily posted here on our website and then echoed throughout social media. So that's our new communication strategy that we hope that you find useful. So then there's obviously certain news underneath that we may have from time to time. Obviously, we had to cancel or pivot our annual conference to a virtual conference. It was very successful, and we will have ongoing updates about special events, things like that right here on the site should they call for such. The next area of our website is, and we'll come to the events in just a moment, you'll have our 2020 virtual conference that is now concluded, but we still have access there. Should you like to get back into your group, over time that will probably go away and be replaced with our next virtual conference, which will be in New Orleans, Louisiana. We'll inform you more about that very soon. Also, too, regional and international events, things that are happening with our regions, make sure that you check here. If you just click, one of the neat things about our new website is if you just click on events, it's going to take you to all of our event calendars, where here you can export these calendar entries to your calendar, whether you're using Google or Outlook or an Apple calendar, and you can register for these events as well. And so here we are today, right here, the new NBEA website orientation. Also, too, if you look May 14th, in a few weeks, we're going to be teaching accounting with graphics, innovative language, and manipulatives. We've got some great presenters coming in for that. Cloud platforms for business and accounting education, so on and so forth. And a business educator's introduction to digital badges will also be coming your way at 2 o'clock on July 9th. So go ahead and get that on your calendar, and make sure that you're here for that important professional development opportunity. In addition, we also have our major regional events here on our website, and we will tell you about those events and give you links to the local or to the regional site where those events, where you can learn more about those. Also, too, on our website, when you come inside the website on the internal pages, you're going to notice some of the latest news here. You see the last 2 entries. that are most recent. We just want to make sure we put these things in different places, so eyes will make sure that we capture views and that people are aware of what's happening at the association. Our calendar of events, and then our featured members. This area is reserved for our leaders. It's important that you know who they are and that we feature them here. Also, this is just a list of new members, people or organizations. In this case, I see some organizations have joined. Now, if you want to see these records for, say, for example, I think this is the Ridgefield Park High School. If you wanted to see their record, you'd have to be a member. This is a new National Business Honor Society chapter, and we're proud to have them. And if you would like to see their record or information about their sponsor or so on, you're welcome to click in there. Also, too, we have our online surveys. From time to time, this will change, but for right now, we're collecting a lot of great information about how NBEA can be more relevant to its members. So we're collecting some good information there. I would encourage you to contribute as well. Let's move on to our membership area. Now, here we have some membership FAQs, involvement opportunities, and some of these links go to the same place. But let's start here at the bottom of the list. Obviously, NBEA has membership categories for retirees. Retirees get a substantial discount, as do students on their membership. If you're interested in more information about being a member and classified as a retiree and taking advantage of that discount, you're welcome to find out there. Students, you'll just have to present a student ID, a copy of that or a photo of that in a PDF, and you will get a substantial discount. NBEA is dedicated to helping students access the resources that we have now for students to leverage in regard to business education and business education research. If you're a member, you can renew fast and easy online. And here's one of the major new areas of our website. What we're trying to do is provide involvement opportunities in one place. So let me click on involvement opportunities right there under membership. And you're going to see here that we're trying to include links instead of them being scattered all over the website, is that we have a single place where links can be sent for you to be involved with the association. So you don't have to hunt for an opportunity to engage. So let's look at a few of these just really quickly. First of all, you can submit an article for the Business Education Forum. If you click on that, it'll go to an online form that we would ask you to fill out and submit, and that will automatically be sent to our journal editors, and they will be getting back with you on whether or not your particular article will be included in the publication. Also, too, you can submit a proposal for an article in the Journal for Business Teaching and Research. This is part of our ABTR magazine, the organization, the Association for Business Teaching and Research. That is a separate journal that is available to ABTR members. That would be gold or platinum level NBEA members. Also, too, host a webinar with NBEA and share your knowledge. We would welcome members and even non-members to propose a webinar. If you click on that link, you're going to go to a webinar form that'll essentially explain the process of what we look for in our webinars. And if you submit that form, we will get back to you promptly on whether or not we will be able to help host that. But we would love your topics that are relevant. If you're a vendor, all that we would ask is that your webinar, that your objectives have a relevant, that they're relevant to business education, and that the presentation be educational in nature. Even if your product is in the middle of the presentation, we would ask that there still be broader educational objectives to make this relevant for professional development for our members. And I think that most vendors understand that point and will honor that. Also, too, right up until July 1st, I think probably mid-June, we're going to be finalizing committee appointments, maybe right up until July 1st. We would ask you to go here and volunteer for an NBEA committee. And if you click on that link, you're going to get the names of the committees that we have available, and then you can choose up to 3 committees that you would like to be involved with. This is a real leadership opportunity for our members. And so we would encourage you to go volunteer for an NBEA committee. It is really where the path to leadership starts in an association, especially NBEA. We really need great leaders and people who have a vision for how we can move business education forward with our committees. Also, too, right now, one of our consultants who is helping us with our journals is calling for grab-and-go lesson plans. So that's you're going to see several different features and opportunities to engage. So check back here often, and you'll see perhaps different opportunities. They'll also be mentioned in our newsletters. Coming soon, we're going to have leadership training. Leadership training will be for those leaders at regional or local associations. We want to help you with how to be a great leader, what to do once you take the reins, or whether you're considering leadership. So we're going to be doing that as soon as we can get that organized and up. So we're happy about that. Let's go back to our home. So if you have membership questions about NBEA, you can come here to our FAQs, and you're going to see all types of FAQs about NBEA membership. When does it start? When will membership auto-renew? So on and so forth. Lots of great answers here if you have membership questions. If you just click on membership, you're going to see the major categories of membership at NBEA for individuals. You're going to see the individual guest. If you're a guest at NBEA, we would love just to send you our newsletter. We think that there's a lot of valuable information in that newsletter, whether or not you're a member, and we want to engage with you. So you can just register on our site as a guest, and you'll get a free newsletter. However, if you want access to the online library, if you want the professional liability insurance, if you want the other benefits for NBEA, then you're going to want to escalate or upgrade to the bronze membership. If you want the professional plus the International Society of Business Education, you'll get the silver membership. That's essentially professional plus ISB. And then if you want gold membership, that will be your professional membership plus the ABTR membership. And if you want to know what those benefits are, you can come right down here and see what it is your dues will go for. Finally, Platinum is our most advanced and comprehensive membership. If you pay $195 currently, you will be able to be you will have access to all of the items that NBEA makes available. We do have institutional memberships for our ABTR institutions. We also have institutional memberships for honor societies, and we also have associate memberships for our libraries, and that is not currently listed on the site, but that will be up shortly, and our libraries will be able to essentially have a mechanism by which to subscribe to our key publications. So let's go back to our divisions. NBEA has several divisions for the International Society for Business Education. We have the National Business Honor Society and the Association for Business Teaching and Research. A lot of those I've already mentioned. And obviously our membership categories are divided across and offer membership into these divisions should you choose them at the bronze, silver, gold, and platinum levels. Also, too, we have our library, and here is essentially just a quick link to our major publication collections. This isn't all of the collections, it's just a few actually, but we wanted to be able to allow you to hit those or access those in one group. So there's access to our library, and we'll come back to the library in just a few minutes. If you want to go to the store, you can go here, and keep in mind this, very important. This would be worth the time you spent on this webinar just by this one key facet. At our online store, we have two primary areas or departments of the store, if you will. One is for our National Business Honor Society. If you come here, you're going to see all your National Honor Society regalia. So if you have a National Honor Society chapter and you would like to order these packages, you are welcome to do so here, and we'll be shipping that material out to you. We keep a nice inventory of that material, and you can order that as you will. Keep in mind that if you do order from us, that it's required that you are in full compliance with National Business Honor Society policy. So for example, if your instructors aren't all NBEA members, and you order something from the store and we notice that, or if you're not a member, if you're a chapter sponsor and you're not a member of NBEA, we actually, that would invalidate your chapter if your chapter sponsor is not an NBEA member. So please keep that in mind. And also too, we'd like to tell you about publications. If you come here, keep in mind about publications. We have hard copies available of most of our key and most important publications. We removed a lot of different extra ancillary material that wasn't uniquely and specifically for business education. We had just done that in December and January. Everything on the store now is highly germane and very unique to business education. It's the only place you can get these resources. So we're happy about that. Keep in mind that some of these resources are available on our website or in our library free of charge. So for example, if you look here at the effective methods of teaching business education in the 21st century, this is our new book. We wanted to tell our members that if you'd like to buy this book, you can do so here. We'll send you the hard copy, but keep in mind down here that this resource is available in the NBEA online library for our bronze, silver, gold, and platinum members for no extra charge in electronic format. So we'll come back and take a look at that. But if you want the hard copy, you can buy it from the store. Eventually, we would love you. We have a link right here to our online library where you can go and click and obtain this resource electronically for no additional cost. It's just another great way that NBEA has committed to opening up the amount of resources that we have and providing those to our members. The National Standards for Business Education, this is currently only available hard copy. However, the new 2020 version should be published, we're told, in June or July, and maybe making its way out in August. And if that case, we will be making that available to members for no additional charge in the NBEA online library. So for right now, enjoy your online or your hard copies here, or go to the library to read most of these documents electronically. Now, if you click on things like creative teaching, right now, this book is not available in the NBEA online library for quite a few reasons. And we won't go into all of those now, but if you don't see, we try to tell you, if this book is available in the library, we don't want you to have to buy it if you're a member. We want you to take advantage of these resources. So in this case, it doesn't say it's available in the library, therefore Creative Teaching Ideas is not currently available in our NBEA library. Let's go back to, so that's our online store, and happy to provide that. Also, career openings. We would really love at NBEA to provide job openings on a regular basis. And I think the more that institutions and organizations know that this is available, more people will use it. Essentially, if you are an ABTR, Platinum or Gold member, you are able to go, and used to, it would cost about $300 to submit a job opening. And those job openings would appear here. Currently, I think we have one opening right now, but we are hoping also that over time that this will grow, and we're dedicated to that. But our gold and platinum members can submit these now for free. We're no longer charging $300 per uh, for each job opening. So that's something, and obviously non-members can come and look for free. We would encourage the public to come here and to look at the business education opportunities that are available. So let's go back to home just for a minute. Now, if you'll notice up here at the very, very top, there's a couple. We have our contact us. If you want to contact us at any time, come here, and this essentially emails to our key staff on call, okay? That's where that goes. We would also encourage you to use the phone. We know how convenient the phone can be. Also, down here in the lower right-hand corner, we have a chat button. Now, on certain days, we activate chat and we make our staff available in real time. However, with the size of the staff that NBEA has, and it's very, very small, if NBEA, a lot of times we can't have a live staff member answering in real time on chat. That's either because they're on the phone or answering another email. So if you want to leave a message, this form here essentially goes to the same place that this contact form does. Of course, you're welcome to come back up here and contact any of our staff individually if you need a question answered quickly. I think the bottom line is that what we wanted to emphasize is that we are here to serve you and here to answer your questions and try to communicate with you on your terms and the ways that you find most convenient. So with that, let's go ahead and let's go back home for just a moment. Also, too, you can sign in. That's going to be the equivalent of signing in here. You can also register, which essentially means join. If you want to join the association, you can come here and then choose whether you want to be a guest or what membership type you want to be. And we've already covered these with you earlier. So now let's go ahead and log in as a member. If you are, and these are quick links, by the way, to our library, different membership information, free newsletter. Really love to reference our sponsors down here. These companies have really been great to NBEA. We'd love for you to click on their links here and go check out some of the great products and services that they have. Even if you're not in the market for certain products or services, it's an education just to visit their websites. They are a group of outstanding businesses, and we would love for you to take a look. Also, too, if you want to see our latest tweets online, you can see we've integrated our Twitter feed here, and our latest news feed also is here. So let's go ahead and log in, and we will do that. And I have a test account that I've set up. I've chosen to use a username and password. And once we log in, you're going to notice that the screen here, the My Profile area, changes. And this has essentially the links into the second part of our website, which is really our members only private collaborative side for members to our website. And we'll go over some of these features in just a minute. But notice up here on our top, we've got our top menu, we've got a new item here, which is members only. And we see that we have the membership directory and we have governing documents. And we're going to be adding to this list soon. Here in governing documents, you're going to notice that we have links to our organization's governing documents. We also have links to our bylaws, policies, and procedures. These are important that you have these documents so you know how the organization runs, how leadership is selected, and so on. In addition, we have all of our 990s. 990s are reports that are required for all 501c3 organizations, such as NBEA. The IRS requires these forms to be filed to provide transparency on revenues and expenses of nonprofit associations formed for the public good. So keep that in mind. So we have our records now going back to 1997. So if you're interested in the history of NBEA and how they use their money and their revenues and expenses every year, you can go take a look at these forms that are normally publicly available anyway, but we have made those available to our members here as well. So that's the member. Now the member directory will take you into your members only site. Let's go ahead and let's just go to start here. And we're going to, if you click my feed, you're going to go into the feed that you have. And it's kind of like your Facebook homepage, if you would allow me to use that example. Here is all the items that we have flagged for you. Like, for example, when we issue a newsletter, we want it to put it right in front of you. So if you log in here, you're going to see the latest news. You're going to see a summary of that news. You're also going to see the different people that have joined the groups that you're in and some of the things that they've posted. This is essentially just kind of keeps you up with what's happening. Now, if you want to get back to that NBEA homepage, all you have to do is come up here and click the NBEA logo, or you can click Quick Links Home, and you'll come right back to the NBEA homepage. If you want to, let's go to our profile home, and let's go to our profile home. Let's check that out. And this will show you the information that about your account and profile at NBEA's website, okay? Now, a few things here that I need to emphasize. Whatever information you provide us is totally voluntary, okay? And not all of this information, we go to great strides to ensure that you know what's available to other members, other people who can visit our site. We want to protect your privacy to the highest level possible and appropriate. So if you'll see here in my personal profile, in my salary category, I've chosen that is not visible to others by default. That is information that we use on the back end only for demographic and demographic querying and things of that nature, just to keep in touch with our members. Over time, additional fields are going to be added to this area. But for right now, you can see some of the highest degrees that we have, the region, my spouse or partner's name, so on and so forth. So you can come here. Now, if you want to edit that, when you edit your information, you have the ability to lock down any of this information. So for example, if my email address, if I click email and I click the little red icon next to the email address, I can choose to private, not visible in the profile. In other words, don't show that to anybody but NBEA members, NBEA staff. Private, not visible in the profile. So in other words, no one's going to be able to see your email address if you would like to lock that down. Or you can just show members of NBEA. So for example, we have Barbara Looney on the line today with us. Barbara, if you wanted to lock down your emails to where only members like Colleen Webb or our president-elect Benita Moore could see your information, you could do that by choosing that there. So so for right now, you see the information that's being shared, and there are things that aren't shared at all. So keep that in mind, and you can lock down the rest of the data as you see fit, down to where you have a very, very limited profile. Also, to create a personalized URL, this is how you can get to your NBEA records and information directly. You can play with that if you want to. This gives you something to send other people. If you wanted to do that, you could. Also, too, let's go ahead, and while we're here and looking at the profile, let me go across the top just really quickly. So as we talked about my feed just a moment ago, again, it's kind of like the Facebook feed. It's the Facebook wall or homepage. Then you have my profile that you're looking at, and you have multiple tabs here. You have information and settings, payment history, content features, and professional development. let me go through the top screen here, and we're on my profile now. And let me go ahead and tackle some of these items. If we click Information and Settings, this will enable you to customize your member profile options using the form that you see here and checking the box next to the specific preferences that you would like to have. For example, if you would like to be emailed when somebody applies for an opening you've posted, that's the Career Center. You could do that. So in other words, if you actually posted something to the Career Center and somebody applies for it through this website or notifies you, it will notify you of that fact. Also too, here, email me when a community event is added. So if somebody in one of the groups and the communities that you have adds an event, it's going to notify you of that. Keep in mind, some of these notifications can be very, very useful. Sometimes, in all honesty, they could be annoying as well. So what we would like to do is show you to come to Information and Settings, and you can turn these notifications off however you choose. Okay? Right now at NBEA's website, we've launched this site, but we've just really begun to use it. So right now, we don't have any forums that we're actively using. We do have a group digest where anytime a region, for example, like the Western Business Education Association wants to announce something, we can go to their group, and I'll show you that in just a moment, and we can announce something for the Western Business Education Association, and it only goes to the people in WBEA. So if you want to digest, that'll give you an idea, that'll give you essentially a summary of the things that have been said or been posted in the groups that you have, okay? All right, so let's continue on. We have forum settings. Again, right now, we don't have that many active forums, but this could be when you post to a forum. If we had a forum on technology, for example, or administrators forum, when you add something or you make a comment, your signature would automatically be posted there. The blogs, there's different blogs that we can have all over this site. You can subscribe to the ones you want to see, and over time, this will grow. Also, too, let me show you this. This is really neat, is referrals. If you have some friends right now, you don't see it, and I'll show you where you can access it. A referral is refer a friend, which is essentially where you send them a special link. If you click refer a friend, you can send them this link. And essentially, if they join or register, you're given credit for that, and we track how many people you've referred. So you can come here, type the email addresses of the people you would like to send that to, and then you get you get recognized for, and I think eventually we're going to have some kind of a contest or recognition for the member who refers the most members. But for right now, you can see that I haven't used mine even yet. So that is there and will be focused more on in the future. Also, too, we're going to go to Manage Social Sign-In. Here you can see if you would like to use your Facebook or your LinkedIn profile to authenticate at nbea.org, you can configure that right here, okay? So you're in the you are in the members only area under the information and settings area, and you can click Manage Social Sign-On. Here's another specific area that is really useful, is your payments and history. Here we have the things that you've registered for, your membership, and donation history. Right now, NBEA doesn't use donation history. Eventually we will, and that will track the status of certain donations that are apart from store purchases or membership transactions. If we click on membership, this is where, and this is one of several ways you can get to this screen, but this is where you can find your membership card. So a lot of people, prior to November 1st, 2019, NBEA used to send out membership cards. In fact, I could probably tell you that the association spent a small fortune printing out membership cards on a dot matrix printer. to send out as a benefit. Well, most people don't find that really a benefit anymore, but if you do, we welcome that, and we've made your membership card here available to you, including your photo, your membership ID, and keep in mind your membership number is not the same as your old NBEA membership number. Really, your NBEA membership number doesn't mean a whole lot today. It will be, it can be used in several areas, but we can look you up by name as well. So it's less important than it's probably ever been. So Platinum membership, we see here, and my membership expires in 2021, and I can print that out and do whatever I would like to do with it. So this also shows me the transactions, and if you want your receipt, you can click on your receipt and show that it's been paid and continue on. Very, very helpful, very, very useful. You don't have to call the office. Not that we mind. We love for you to call the office, but if you want to print out your receipts, you can do so here. Let's go on to content and features. Now, some of these areas, keep in mind, will be used more in the future, okay? And they're not heavily used right now, but that's going to change. We decided to open it up to our members and start letting members experiment, find out what they like, find out what's being used, what's not being used, and slowly begin to introduce some of these website features to our members. If we go to content and features here, you can see where you can post your job openings. You can also create custom pages. These are just website pages that other members can see. Maybe it's resource pages. You can create your own blog. You can provide feedback to NBEA here. It's kind of, think of this as a suggestion box. You can post photos of certain events. All this can be done on Facebook too, but in this regard, this is really a members-only protected area that integrates with our association management system. So while, yes, you can do that on Facebook, the beauty of Facebook is, well, anybody can access it. And so, you know, our NBEA Facebook page is not a closed group. So that is a consideration that we would like to make. And so if you would like to post photos that are specifically germane to NBEA or your region, we would encourage you to do so here. Also, too, networks. Again, some of these things you can play with, and we'll be giving you more information about these a little bit later. Also, too, we have a chat feature where you can see which of the members are actually online now, and it's a lot like Facebook, and you are able to then initiate chats with other members if you see them online. You can post a resume or a CV. That, again, is up to you completely. It is not required in any way, but if you wanted to do that, it is available. Bookmarks, these are bookmarks that you have for your favorite pages at NBEA. That way you can come here and just bookmark those and find out what you prefer the most. Now, finally, is professional development. We want to, NBEA, I can tell you this, as the executive director, I really want to dedicate ourselves to helping our members who need it obtain their professional continuing education for their licensure. I know that not everyone needs that, but some do. So what we've started now is we have an area of the members only area. And, you know, one of the things that we're going to be doing in the future is offering professional development sessions that meet a high standard. So for example, if we're going to have a webinar that's offered for CEUs, we really need to offer an assessment of that. And by assessment, I mean a small quiz at the end of the webinar to ensure learning has occurred and to hold accountability. So not just attendance, we need to meet a high educational standard. So we're going to be looking at that. So for right now, though, if you wanted to self-report and make this your archive for your professional education and essentially provide and be able to print out a transcript of these things, you can do that. So for example, here is some education that I put in on my own. I attended 8 sessions. I may want to mark what sessions they were. And then I can self-report 8 credits for that. So that's if it's CEUs, it would be 0.8 if it were, because CEUs are essentially 10 clock hours for every one CEU. But nonetheless, depending on whatever system you have and you need, you can make that available there. If you email your transcript, all the things that you see there will be emailed to you or someone else, that you can document your professional education. Eventually, one day, later this year, I would really like to see NBEA, for every one of their professional, or at least a lot of their workshops or their professional development workshops, be able to add those automatically where we're awarding your CEUs or your credit here. And then your transcript won't show self-reported that we actually have awarded you these certificates for your professional development. So this is going to be coming in the future. Right now, it's completely voluntary. If you want to begin to track your professional development, I know when I was a teacher, that was always a challenge. And if you wanted to begin to track that here, this is a nice place to put it, especially as NBEA may contribute to your professional development in the near future and be able to add to your transcript here. So keep that in mind. So up here, we now have our directory. So if we have our directory now, our directory is essentially exactly what it sounds like. Now, this directory is only available to NBEA members. So if I wanted to look up our president, Colleen Webb, if I wanted to look her up, I could do so. And now you have access to NBEA's membership. If you're a member and you wanted to find out somebody's email address, you don't have to ask 10 other people. You can just go to NBEA's site, log in, and find out. Now, keep in mind, we have designed this as well to ensure that if somebody gets access to this, they can't just come in and scrape and copy and select email addresses. We respect your privacy. But if we have a map here of where Colleen here is too. She's in East China, Michigan. But if we see here, she's a connection of mine. A connection, as you can see, I've reached out to Colleen's as a connection here through our system. And we can see that she's provided her address, and she has chosen not to provide an email address here, which is perfectly fine. If, however, if you wanted to message her here, you could do that, and the system will send her a message behind the scenes, and then you can correspond with her with whatever information she's provided. You can see that Colleen's a member of 6 groups. She's provided, there's 3 photos down here. And also, too, you can get about, and here's Colleen's. She didn't share it here, but it's shared here. And she has shared. She has said, hey, I trust my NBEA members, and she wants to make that information available to you. Some photos that were sample photos, and then some of the other things that would be unique to Colleen. Again, she's not obliged to offer any of this, and she can lock it down to where hardly anything is shared if she so desires. So keep that in mind. There's different ways to use the directory. You can start a new search, and there's different facets of this. You can search by group. In other words, if you're looking for somebody named John M. in Mountain Plains Association, you could do that. Or you can see here how that works. Most of our users, by the way, are in the United States. We have a few in Canada, and we have a few in other international locations. A location is a state, by the way. So if we say location, that is really state or province. All right, so I'll let you play with the radius search and advanced search later. Messages is essentially what it sounds. It's internal messages. And internal messages are through our system. Now you say, well, why do I want that? Well, because you're here and you know people get it. That's really the cool thing. So we know that people get it. We know that that a spam filter didn't catch this. So that's really the purpose of the message center. And when you have a message pending, there will be a little red icon up here that will show you that you have a message from somebody that's pending. Okay, and then you have certain actions here. You have other options that you can choose from to organize your messages, so on and so forth, if you choose to use this. Okay. Also, too, we see here Tamra O'Connor, which I don't think she would mind me saying, the Dean of Accreditation and Operations at Illinois State University, is currently online, and I could click off there to set off a chat session with her. Okay, so let's go on to connections. Connections are essentially, just keep in mind, they're a group of trusted people, okay? A group of trust that you trust, that are, they're not just other members, they're trusted members. So for example, Margaret Blue, I've connected with her. This is kind of like Facebook friends. When you have a friend, they can see more pictures and see more information. So that's why, in this case, certain people I've, quote, connected with, and these people have provided me usually more information than what they've made available to the average member. So that's what a connection is. Usually I would use a connection at the NBEA website is if you're on a committee and you want to make sure that you have access to your people. It's real easy to connect and then make sure that you have all the information you need to communicate and collaborate. I don't think you need to befriend or connect with, quote unquote, every other NBEA member. I think you start with your connections to connect with the people that you need to connect with, or that you want to connect with, or somebody you have something in common with. So that's important. Keep in mind that you have actions here that you can message that person. You can view their connections if she's allowed you to do that. And you can also categorize your connections, okay? All right, so let's go on to groups, which is probably the most fundamental. And keep in mind, I have quite a few groups here, but groups are exactly what they sound like. For example, for some of you who have chosen to attend the virtual conference, we created a group just for you. So you could come down here and see a special event, and you see there's 247 people that are a part of that. We have 2 group administrators who are essentially in charge of allowing people to become members or not. And if I click into that group, I now see our conference homepage. And this gives you essentially a great way to give members access to something that is unique to them. So in this case, it was the people who registered or wanted to be a part of the virtual conference. If I come up here, for example, we have regional leadership and local and regional membership directors. So these are people who are your presidents, your membership directors of the local and of the state or provincial and our territorial or regional business education associations. And here it's really important because when I click on the regional directors, I can actually now begin to email this group. You can be ideas for regional and local business education associations. Here's one forum here. And so we're beginning to start to use this. Now, again, when you go here, there's not going to be just a ton of activity. Eventually, we're going to form a committee that does nothing but tries to ensure engagement through these means, not for just the sake of engagement, but to add relevance to business education. So these are our groups, and here's a group calendar and a group directory. If you want to know a list of who's in that group, you can come here and you can see a list of all those people. I know Nancy is our California Association membership director. We have Teresa Bynum, who is our Missouri, and the list goes on and on of our people. And you can also see here a map of where they're located if you want to use that. These administrative features over here will not be available to you. But for those of you, some of you will be appointed as membership membership or, excuse me, group administrators. And group administrators have extra capability where group administrators can actually download a list of their members and be able to communicate with them through the system. Okay. All right, so those are groups, and eventually we're going to have groups by topics. Again, discussion forums, we have all that. All that capability is built in here. Please contact me if you would like to have more information about this. Okay. So we have finally quick links here. We have our library, our home, and members only area. And finally here, if you want to see your invoices, it just takes you back to the area that you saw before, account and settings. Let's click that just so you can see. Again, you've already been here and been through these options. Also too, you have your alerts, and these are the alerts that you have as somebody accepts your connection, or if there's a news article now posted, that will all be right here in your alerts. Normally there is a red icon here, but I've read all mine, so no need to move on from that. Now I have a message here. It looks like we have somebody who has just emailed me and wants access to a particular group. Well, what I'm going to have to do is check to make sure that that member is actually an ISB member, and then I'll give them access to the group. Okay, so that tells you a little bit more, and you can see here we have 2 more people who are online right now that I could connect with if I so needed. So finally, we have these areas here. There's the refer a friend I told you about. These are all just special links that go back into that members only area. Your membership information containing your expiration date and how to renew. If you click on membership information like this and you're anywhere close to your renewal date, it's going to tell you. You're going to say renew your membership now. In fact, I'd love to tell you this in closing. Once you renew your membership, you're not going to get any more prompts for 6 months. Now, technically, your membership lasts for a year. But if you wanted to upgrade your membership, you would normally have to call the office. Instead, we went ahead and made renewals. You can renew your membership 6 months or upgrade your membership 6 months before it's due. That essentially helps our office staff reduce the number of transactions we have to do manually, and it allows you to upgrade your membership at any time as you so desire. Okay, so keep that in mind. You don't have to. If you do see something that says renew your membership now, make sure you look at the date, and because it's possible that you don't have to renew for 6 months, but if you do renew, your membership just advances well past your renewal date. There's nothing that you lose by renewing early. Okay, so that is our new NBEA website. Finally, the library, and I'll make this very quickly in just a couple minutes that we have left. The NBEA library, we were able to obtain most of our documents, most of our publications that we've published over the last 10 years. Let me give you some insights to this. Right now, we're about to add a whole lot more of our Journal of Applied Research for Business Instruction. We've got a lot more of those coming. Right now, we've only have 3 that were published this year. But we'll always have our forums. We'll have our books. You can look for the publications here. You can search by keyword. Well, one of the great members that we have is a gentleman named Peter Megason. And Peter has written things over the years. And if you liked an article that he wrote, you can search by name. You can search for Megason. And you can see all the different things that Peter has written and where he's mentioned. This is a full text search of all of our documents, of our journals, and it really would allow you to do a lot. You can do an advanced search to hone your what you're looking for. Keep in mind that when you visit the NBEA library, if I click back into it, I'm logged in, but you'll see here where it says sign in. If I click that sign in message, it'll say welcome platinum member. But that's because our library works with our site, okay, our other website. So now it knows that I'm a platinum member. Keep in mind that platinum members get access to everything. If right now the things that a bronze, silver, or gold, a bronze or silver, or a silver would not get, I think it's easier just to tell you what you wouldn't get. Is if you look, for example, at the a bronze or silver member would not get any of the ABTR or any of these journals that have to do with the Journal of Applied Research for Business Education. You not get those, and you would not get the Journal for Applied Research or the Journal for, if you have to be an ISB member, for example, to get the Journal for Global Business Education. If you look for journal, this is the ABTR journal that you would not get access to as a bronze member or a silver member. You have to be gold or platinum. That means that you have individual membership in ABTR. And that goes back to some of the membership categories that we defined prior. So keep that in mind. So if you want to go back to the NBEA website, you can do so here. And by the way, the library does make available all of these things on a mobile basis. So if you're on your phone, these work really, really well. You're going to notice our table of contents. Also, too, eventually you're going to be able, for non-members, can actually buy one article if they desire it. So if we wanted to see Interview Skills, The Importance of Practice by Michael Kundal and Stephanie Kelly, we could click on that, and it's going to show you in a nice, beautiful, mobilely responsive article where you can click through that and get the important information that you need quickly and usefully. Okay? All right. So that gives you a lot of great information about our new website. We hope you found that useful. Thank you so much for your time. And as always, contact us at NBEA at nbea.org if you have any additional questions. Thank you so much.